My dad said I was too emotional to be class president, so I ran against him for HOA president and won. When I was 16, I told my dad I was running for class president. He laughed. Not a chuckle, a real belly-deep laugh like I just said something ridiculous. Then he said, "Sweetheart, you're too emotional for leadership. You take things too personally. That's not how presidents work." He patted me on the head and walked away, like I was sick, like I hadn't just made the decision to finally try. That night I stayed up reworking my speech, scrapping the one he helped me write. The next morning I gave a passionate speech about real issues students cared about. Mental health, school lunches, social media pressure. I lost. By 3 votes. When I got home, my dad was waiting at the door, arms crossed. "Told you, you made it emotional. That's not how you win." He didn't mean to break something in me, but he did. Not all at once. It came in pieces. When I cried over a bad grade, "You're being dramatic." When I stood up for a friend, getting too involved again. When I called out his bad joke at dinner, "You need thicker skin if you ever want to lead anyone." By college, I stopped talking about anything that mattered. Until I came home after graduation and moved back in for a few months. I told myself, our neighborhood was neat, quiet, and wildly overregulated thanks to the HOA. My dad had been president for years, unopposed. He treated it like the White House. One day, he walked into the kitchen holding a stack of envelopes and grinned. "Big vote coming up. Tree trimming regulations. Boring stuff. You'd hate it." Something about his smirk, that old smugness, made something snap. I said, "Cool, I'm running against you." He actually dropped the mail. "You're joking." I wasn't. The next week, I submitted my application, printed flyers, and knocked on every door in the neighborhood. Not to promise clean sidewalks, but to actually listen. You know what I heard? A woman who'd been fined for planting tomatoes instead of tulips. A single dad who couldn't build a ramp for his disabled son because of aesthetic disruption. A teenage girl who said, "I didn't know women could run here." Each story added fuel to something inside me that I thought had died after high school. I wasn't emotional. I was passionate. And people felt that. On voting day, my dad stood in front of the community center shaking hands like a senator. I stood beside the playground, listening to a retired teacher tell me how tired she was of rules that made her feel like a prisoner in her own home. The results came in after sunset. I won, by 9 votes. He didn't talk to me for 3 days. Then on the 4th, he left a single envelope on my bed. Inside was a note that read, "You're still emotional, but maybe that's exactly what this place needed." I framed it. Now I run the HOA. We still have rules, but we also have common sense, and gardens, and ramps, and voices. And sometimes, when I'm standing in front of a crowd and my voice shakes, I don't feel weak. I feel powerful, because emotion isn't the enemy of leadership. It's the soul of it.